Hello peeps, or some kind of autocomplete when I typed a script at some point also said hello peppers. And I like hello peppers because peppers are spicy and peppers make me think a bit how to combine my food and stuff. So, yes, hello peppers. I thought since yesterday I saw a quite good video about basically dozens of phrases that may or may not upset some autistic people. Like that video was the result of a community survey. I thought I should make my own video about pet peeve phrases. I think, like in the German section of this channel, I have a set of pet peeve phrases with cerebral palsy. But of course, that's a little bit on a different level because the cerebral palsy is so visible, and it gets like a little bit more, a little bit less visible depending on what kind of mobility equipment I use, or also in which contexts I'm moving. Uh, and I wrote all my autism pet peeve phrases on my puffin paper because there is always this odd one out with the nerdy glasses. That's me. But all the other puffins wear Icelandic sweaters too, like, so they want to, like, you know that the puffins are only here in the summer, right? So these are a little bit like in the wrong season and need to protect themselves with lope, with this like water repellent raw sheep's wool. Um, and I didn't make that picture, but actually this artist is one of my biggest inspirations. So for my drawings. And you guys might have figured out that the puffin is sort of my totem animal because it's like both a traveler and extremely territorial, both a group animal and drawing back in the cave and so on. So, my autistic pet peeve phrases. But you like going to school, don't you? That was like, let's say, poison to me in my youth because A, for starters, I don't like it when people make assumptions about me. It also still gets horribly on my nerves when people think I automatically know that they are doing whatsoever on a particular day of the week. Uh, People in the world, I can't read your minds, and I think no one can, so please, let's communicate. I could not keep up with the regular school system, even though you did not see that on the outside. Um, I was good in particular subjects, and I really enjoyed doing some of those things in those subjects, and there were some subjects where I like chronically had 0 points because I didn't even understand the questions. Because, let's say, the knowledge that you can assist me with actually like formulating questions differently and explaining things to me differently, leave alone people who have the resources to provide these explanations, they only came in much later years. And let's say at university, I learned to communicate more clearly about those needs or what I can contribute to a group, etc. But like school, from 7 years old to I think I was 20 years old when I formally graduated, was HEL. Um, so, and I was really, really pissed and sad and felt misunderstood when, like, especially the older generation who was sort of thankful that there was an organized school and walked 14 kilometers to school without protesting because that was basically the only way to see your friends and etc. When those people, well intending of course, asked me, "Do you like school?" Uh, no, it might be smarter to say, like, how do you feel about school? Or uh, maybe how was school? Even though, like, if you ask that in big amounts and every day, that also got in my nerves. Because school chronically was bad. Um, and it was very draining. And today I consider myself an activist for, like, an education that is oriented towards the individual and their interests and talents. Um, Number two on the hit list. Isn't that expensive? And there, it doesn't matter what this item actually is. Like, let's say this mostly occurs if I unpack my very small watercolor set with very densely pigmented paints uh, to offer them to a child, and then people go like, isn't that expensive? People, of course I don't have as much concept of numbers and values and so on as normal people, but okay, what's normal, but as the average person, but I need to uh, use things that are close to my body in my pouch. So I basically carry my half of my life in my walker basket. Uh, and let's say sometimes when I have very little energy, I have to use what is at hand and I have to buy what is at hand. And they are the expenses, like, at least up to certain limits, are not that important because my brain screams, I need energy, I need energy. And then of course, let's get real, then I need to save in other departments. There are some days where I basically only drink soup because I don't have energy to buy or eat proper food items, period. Next sentence, you'll figure it out. uh, let's say, especially with people who intend to have a long term contact with me, I tell them at some point that I don't have a procedural memory. Like, let's say, literally, when I cook, someone else has to stand by my side and say, crack the eggs into this dish and stir them with, like, this fork and so forth. And this person basically has to dictate me the whole recipe, but this person also can do something else while dictating if they are capable of that. And I have sometimes really nice cooking partners and a lot of fun with them, and they often allow me to even bring food to a good friend or something. So this is part of my community life, cooking with people who know, who don't, that I don't have a procedural memory. So actually this can separate the cream from the milk in a friendship. Also, if people say with best intentions, that's easy peasy, it might be easy peasy for you, but not for me. Whatever it is, again. Um, Something that really upsets me is when people say, I don't understand, because, let's say, for the most of my life, I got the feedback that people don't understand what I'm saying. Um, so I prefer, and of course I can't control people here, but let's say if people really want to communicate with me on a long term, it's more insightful and fruitful to say, how do you mean that? Um, One sentence that I'm reading a lot on social media, and that actually drives me nuts and bananas. I'm looking for a validation. I've grown kind of allergic to this word validation because, hello, your experience, the way it is valid. And if you think this person was rude, then this person was rude because you have another mental pain threshold than me. And I am not giving you validation just for the sake of validation. I sometimes ask on social media, okay, does anyone else experience this? Is this a known phenomenon? And so forth. Well, some things just may happen in my world, so that leads me actually to the next sentence. You're imagining XYZ. Uh, like, or like if someone says you and your imaginary friends, hello, like things like I may see lights that are not there. I may see people that are not there, and I may someone actually really constructively asked me, "Can you paint auras?" So I started to paint people how I saw them in colors, and that's connected to synesthesia. And like also this lady who the foreign media marketed as the elf minister of Iceland, even though it's my understanding that she didn't approve of that title particularly much. She also wrote books about auras and so on connected to synesthesia. And synesthesia is very common in autistic individuals. So if I hear the word make believe friends again, and if I hear the word imaginary world again, we won't be friends for much longer. Um, so the next sentence that really upsets my brain is Joe has autism and he can do that. Okay, Joe has one form of autism and I have another. So can we not please just accept that let's say I have difficulties changing rooms without preparation and without people assisting me. That's just like one example where people sometimes say that that Joe can do this, or like the worst thing is always like Joe is married and has children, so why can't you have a love relation? Because there are like many variables in my life that may not be identical to the life of Joe. Uh, okay. Uh, well, you're so intelligent, or you're so cute. Okay, I'm not cute. I'm a grown person, and I'm not Mickey Mouse, and I'm so. Okay, if you, with your best intentions, someone says I'm cute, of course, like there are some close friends who say that, and it's like sort of our ritual. But if random people say that, that actually gives me a feeling of not being taken all too seriously and not being a serious conversation partner. And same goes for that, like you're intelligent. I didn't always realize that I have a problem with this phrase, but like another autistic person brought that to my attention a couple of years ago, that this phrase "you're so intelligent" builds up expectations towards them that they can't cater for. So I appreciate the dialogue of that I have certain limits to my intelligence that other people wouldn't necessarily expect. But I don't need to make them known without context. And then the last but not least is this sentence: suddenly everybody is autistic or queer, or suddenly everything is a spectrum. Um, no. If someone expresses this way, I think this is no way to start a conversation. Like I mean, like when people say we are all a little bit autistic, I actually say, well, not everybody, not you all have the sum of many small parts that cause us so many problems and many adjustments in society that would be ideal for autistic people also would be beneficial to others. So now this time is running out and the phone is overheating, so I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye.